Every day in offices around the world, millions of hours vanish into the void of PowerPoint. We live in an era overflowing with advanced creative software, yet the most common corporate experience is still fighting to align text boxes and format slide charts so they don't look broken. If you want to escape those presentation tools, the standard upgrade path usually leads to professional software like Figma. You get immense, granular control over every single element on the screen. But that power comes with a technical learning curve that locks out anyone without formal design training. Platforms like Canva attempt to solve this by stripping away those technical barriers. They make creating accessible to anyone, but at the cost of originality. You rely heavily on repetitive, pre-built templates, meaning your brand often ends up looking exactly like everyone else's. On this spectrum, the far left pairs high control with high friction. The far right pairs low friction with low originality, leaving a massive empty gap. And this entire spectrum operates under one rule: you are still manually pushing elements around a canvas. The solution to our software fatigue isn't going to be another, slightly better blank canvas. To change the outcome, we have to remove the requirement for users to arrange pixels entirely. Anthropic's Claude design approaches this problem from a different angle. Because it is powered by an AI model that can see, reason, and output visual logic, it bypasses the drawing process and treats design as an exercise in data synthesis. Consider what it usually takes to launch a new brand. In India, hiring an agency to build a proper corporate identity, complete with pitch decks and landing pages, can cost up to 5 lakh rupees and requires weeks of back-and-forth revisions to get the vibe right. Instead of starting with an expensive agency brief, the new workflow begins by pulling visual data directly from established references. You can point the system at an existing aesthetic you admire to set a high-end visual baseline. Using a web scraping tool like Firecrawl, you can extract the design language from 2 completely different websites, say the premium feel of Apple and the energetic health vibe of Ultrahuman, and convert their specific colors and fonts into raw JSON code. When a user feeds those 2 text streams into Claude, it synthesizes the data into a brand called Vajra Pro. Within 20 minutes, the AI produces a structured dashboard that includes not just hex codes, but a core brand positioning, a design philosophy, and specific rules for how typography and spacing should behave. By condensing the strategic work of a brand agency into a few minutes of data synthesis, the system changes the user's workload. You are no longer responsible for drafting the guidelines. You are simply the director who approves the output. Before producing any actual assets, the AI acts much like a human consultant. It asks you to define your target audience, your product's price point, and the length of your presentation, so it understands the context of what it is building. Armed with those parameters and the new brand rules, it instantly generates a fully structured, animated investor presentation. It writes the copy, sources the market data, and formats the layouts without you touching a single slide. If a specific element needs adjusting, you bypass complex menus. You just use a simple drawing tool to circle the item on the screen and type a plain text note, like asking to make a headline larger or change a color, and the system instantly re-renders the page. Then, using the context of that pitch deck, the AI can autonomously write and design a bespoke landing page, followed by a fully rendered 3D launch video with 0 human intervention in the middle. The system generates an entire cohesive ecosystem of assets precisely because it understands the underlying logical rules of the brand. It is building from the ground up, not forcing your text onto a pre-made layout. This design capability is just one piece of a much larger objective for Anthropic. They are building a series of tools designed to own what is known as the knowledge work stack. Once the visual ecosystem is finalized, that design system can be handed off to autonomous coding agents like Claude Code. The AI reads the brand's README file and begins implementing the actual software, linking the creative vision directly to the technical execution. Professional tools like Figma remain essential for specialized designers who require granular control over complex interfaces. But for founders and marketers, the distance between an initial idea and a functional interface has shortened to a simple conversation. By interlocking design, logic, and code, Anthropic is positioning itself as the connective tissue for corporate execution. The goal is a workflow where a single brand identity automatically informs every subsequent step, from the pitch deck to the final website. The required skills for modern business are changing. The market is moving away from rewarding those who spend their time manually building assets and shifting towards those who know how to direct the systems that build for them.